Hello and welcome to the Islamic Finance Weekly, where we discuss key developments in the non-interest finance market. With the growing interest in Islamic finance as an alternative source of financing for Nigeria's economic development, NASFAT has signified interest to support the non-interest finance market. In this episode of the Islamic Finance Weekly, we will discuss NASFAT, Islamic finance, and Nigeria's economic development. I have as my guest today Mr. Olaniyi Yusuf, the president of NASFAT. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you. My pleasure.
The global Islamic finance business has grown steadily, with Nigeria not being an exception. So, for instance, Sukuk and Halal have become alternative ways of raising capital. How does NASFAT intend to encourage increased adoption of this product, especially in the retail market?
Right. So I think the lessons we've learned in the last few years is that indeed there is a market for halal products. The last Sukuk offering of federal government was oversubscribed. If I'm right, they were looking for like 150 billion. They got over 600 billion subscription. So which shows that the market is there, the market is ripe, and it's both Muslims and non-Muslim investors that are investing in Sukuk bonds. And so a number of things that NASFAT has done and will continue to do. First is the education and awareness that we do, the campaigns we do for our members and non-members, to let them be aware of the importance of non-interest based financing as a religious obligation, as a religious command, and of course, the need for them to then subscribe to and participate in such offers. We also make available various locations, physical locations. We are in over 350 locations in the country. We make those available for the promotion of and marketing of Sukuk materials. We partner with financial institutions that are marketing Sukuk products. So whether it is Lotus Capital, it's Jaiz Bank, Sterling Non-Interest Bank, we offer our facilities to all of them to come and talk to our members on the number, to talk to our members on our online webinar programs, and also to sell their products and services to our members at our programs or at our various Asalatu grants. So that's some of the things that we are doing. And I think the other thing we've started to do, which we did the first edition last year, it's a business competition that we call the NASFAT Build for Business Incubation and Launchpad. And that is our own idea, providing a platform for young Muslim entrepreneurs who are starting new businesses to pitch their business to a Muslim audience and then be able to get capital, either as investment, equity, or as grants. And we had the first one in 2020, and the winner, it's a company called Halal Invest that provides an aggregator for access to various halal financial instruments, of which NASFAT now has invested $10,000 as part of the build process. So that's some of the things we're doing.
Well explained, Mr. Yusuf. Nevertheless, Islamic finance is still at a nascent stage in Nigeria, but when we look at how Sukuk was oversubscribed, and also people are looking into halal as another alternative investment in Nigeria. So there is need for constant support for the Islamic finance to thrive in Nigeria. And I appreciate NASFAT for their well done job that they've been doing on the promotion of Islamic finance in the country. So Islamic finance could be a major way of supporting micro, small, and medium-sized businesses. How does NASFAT intend to promote MSMEs through non-interest finance for its members and non-members?
All right, thanks. Yeah, so like NASFAT has well over 2 million members, and these are all individuals, right? And more than half of them are entrepreneurs who have their own businesses, and quite a lot of them are actually MSMEs, mom and dad, mother and daughter, one or two shops in Okeare or in Bukola in Ibadan or Lafayette in Abeokuta.
The Islamic women.
Absolutely. Yeah, the typical Islamic trader who has one or two shops. So those are the bulk of our members. And so a number of things we've done. One is, well over 15 years or so ago, we started with the idea of having a business committee. And that business committee was meant to be an interface between society and our various members that are selling items, so that they can then work with the business committee to have to get access to the NASFAT market and be able to sell their products to NASFAT members. So that was well over 23 years ago. Then about 20 years ago, we started with formation of cooperative societies, knowing that providing access to customers, to NASFAT members is good, but it is not sufficient, right? They also needed access to capital.
Yes.
They needed access to savings.
Funding.
And it was quite difficult 22 years ago to open bank accounts, right? I mean, the nation has moved forward. Now you can open bank accounts without walking to a bank through fintechs and co. But think about 25 years ago, we were still talking about tally numbers in the banking, so it was quite difficult. And so we started up forming cooperative societies. Cooperative societies where our members could come together and to save and to get credit, to take a loan, make periodic savings, regular savings, and then you get a credit, or you can take a loan once you have two guarantors. And the loans were non-interest based loans, right? The first cooperative society was formed at Alausa. I actually was a member of the steering committee of that multipurpose thrift and credit society. But today we have more than
cooperative society. Does NASFAT have plans of establishing an Islamic microfinance bank to expand the opportunities for Sharia-based small businesses?
Okay. All right. So, interesting question. But so before that, I mean, today we have well over 60 cooperative societies in NASFAT locations throughout the country, right? Where we're mobilizing, our members are saving, they're saving, and they're also getting credit. Now, to the question around
Islamic
Islamic Microfinance Bank, it's a question we've debated that a couple of times, and we've asked ourselves that same question. In fact, we asked that same question in February of this year, right? And if we focus on the goal is to provide access to non-interest, affordable capital for our members. And that means there are a number of options that could be available to us. One option could be to own a microfinance bank, or to invest in one and not necessarily be the major owner, but you're just an investor in it. Or you could partner or collaborate with existing financial institutions, right? Today we have equity in Halal Invest, which is a digital platform. That digital platform is available across Nigeria.
That's innovative.
A microfinance bank, that's using technology, innovation. Whereas a microfinance bank, if it's a unit MFB, a unit microfinance bank, the CBN requires you to have a license of 20 million. It's a license of like 100 million naira. If it's a countrywide national MFB, that's a paid up capital of 2 billion that is required. So the question I will need to ask myself is, NASFAT is in all states. We've got over 2 million members in over 350 locations, right? So how do I get across to them? How do I make available capital So make non-interest-based halal capital available to them. Is it through a unit MFB in my local government? Or is it through a state MFB, and then you got 35 other states to worry about? Or is it through a national MFB, and then you got 2 billion naira to worry about? Or could it be just by investing in a digital platform, which is part of what we did with Halal Invest? And so to my mind, and to the mind of a number of leaders in NASFAT, if we focus on the goal being to provide easy access to halal capital, then owning a microfinance bank may not be the best option, given the various interventions that are available today. Sometimes it's better to be 1% of a big thing than to be 100% of a small thing. So we are laser focused on
Cooperative society,
livelihood as part of the health agenda. And so we do cooperative societies, and then we're investing in digital platforms. And we've done the first one with Halal Invest, and there will be more that we'll do. And so by investing in digital platforms, we believe we'll be able to provide more access to halal capital than investing or owning a microfinance bank.
All right, Mr. Yusuf. Now let's look at the role the Islamic society can play in housing gap. Mortgage financing is required to address the over 22 million housing deficit in Nigeria. Does NASFAT have plans to support low to medium cost housing schemes?
I think that there are a few things that we are already doing in different locations. So, given the spread and the reach that we're in 350 locations, most of these locations have their own landed property where we meet every Sunday for our programs. Beyond that, quite a number of them have formed cooperative societies, and the cooperative societies have bought land, right? To now build what you call estates, right? So whether you go to Shogbo or you go to Ofa, or you go to Uwede, we have lands owned by NASFAT cooperative societies, of which members have bought a plot here, 2 plots here, 3 plots here, and now they are constructing individual homes, right? So that's what we started doing, or that we've been doing. The second thing we're trying to do is at our National Islamic Center at Asheshe on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where we're currently constructing a mosque. With the master plan for that complex includes opportunity for joint ventures to build real estate for individual members of the society and non-members. So far, you're a Muslim and you're willing to live in according to the Sharia. And so the JV will be launched in the second half of this year. We're currently going through the approval process, and that will be a way for us to launch huge real estate property development at the Asheshe land that belongs to NASFAT. And so that will complement, that will be one thing for the HQ to do, whilst our branches are doing the cooperative real estate interventions.
NASFAT places high value on the youth and women, but the global report shows that women tend to be denied access to the local credit market. How has NASFAT been addressing access to funding for Islamic women?
Yeah, last week during Easter, we had our women's conference.
Okay.
And one of the points made at that conference is that we need 2 hands to clap, and that this nation cannot develop to its fullest ability if we are clapping with 1 hand, if we leave our female folks behind. And if you look at the gender mix from the population reports, it's almost 50-50, right? Just 50% male, 50% female. And so we need to have all 100% Nigerians productive, working, functional, and contributing to the society before Nigeria can transform. I mean, that's the reality. And so because of that, a number of things NASFAT has done for us. NASFAT as an organization, about 70% of our members are women, right? So it's predominantly women-led, 70% are women. And last week, interestingly, we disbursed 10 million naira to about 500 plus beneficiaries across our zones in Nigeria. And 58.5% of the beneficiaries were women, including the wives of missionaries and Islamic workers. And that was deliberate. Because like they say, when you train a woman, you've trained a generation. When you make a woman to be productive, you are sure the family will be productive, because she will take care of herself, she will take care of her kids. Exactly. She also will take care of her spouse. Exactly. About 4 or 5 years ago, we formed a cooperative for women in agriculture. So NASFAT Women in Agri Cooperative, which is a platform for women who are into agriculture, whether it's fishing, farming, crop, or it's animal husbandry, or it's poultry, or it's fishing, for them to come together, to learn knowledge, to collaborate, to share resources, and to also gain access to financial institutions, right? And thirdly, even though NASFAT is a broad society, we have in NASFAT what you call the women's wing and the youth wing. We do not have a male wing, but we have a women's wing because we recognize the importance of women. We have a youth wing because we recognize the importance of grooming the youth. And so through the women's wing, we do specific products and programs focused at the women. And part of it is the Women in Agri Cooperative. Part of it is the funding that we provide to widows, the funding that we provide to women who are starting trade, including teaching them how to learn new trades, how to build skills, to build capacity. And then successful ones then get on to our funding platform, where we provide funding from them, either through the livelihood grant or through our Zakat disbursement. So these are some of the few things we do: Zakat disbursement, livelihood grant, training, and then cooperatives for women in agri.
In overall, unlocking markets for women to trade will contribute to economic empowerment. So as you've said, when you train a woman, you've trained the nation. Now let's look at Sadaqah as an act of giving to the needy. What ways has NASFAT contributed to social development in Nigeria?
Thanks. So Sadaqah is charitable giving, and part of that is the third pillar of Islam, which is zakat, right? And Muslims are generous people. And I would say NASFAT is lucky that we have members and friends of NASFAT who have been very generous in terms of their support for the society. To give an example, last year we had the COVID pandemic and we had a sudden lockdown, which no one was prepared for, right? I mean, we just woke up and there was a lockdown and no one was prepared. We were able to get our members to donate 65.9 million naira. That's roughly 69. So that's roughly 66 million naira. 65.9 million naira was donated in 55 days and was distributed to over 23,000 households all over the country. Right? And that for me shows the importance of NASFAT. We're able to, provide a platform for people to donate and households, and well over 132,000 individual beneficiaries benefited from that singular act of charity, what we call COVID-19 relief package. An agency called NASAS. NASAS is the NASFAT agency for Zakat and Sadaqah, charity and Zakat from Muslims. Whether you're a NASFAT member or a non-NASFAT member, it doesn't matter. So far you want to provide zakat or sadaqah, you do it through Nazars, and we then give that to deserving Muslims, irrespective of whether they are NASFAT members or non-NASFAT members. And in that, million, right, in 5 years, in various cities to Muslims.
Wow.
3 trips to IDP camps in Borno, in Yobe, in Adamawa, and in Gombe.
From what you said today, I must say that NASFAT has contributed immensely to Nigeria's economic development. And the aims of Islamic finance is for distribution of wealth in the society, like fairness and justice of everyone. So what is your message to all Muslims as the 2021 holy month of Ramadan commences?
As we look forward to Ramadan, we pray Allah to count us as one of those that will participate in the month and that will participate fully and gain the reward. Ramadan is really a moment of reflection. It's a period of sacrifice. It's a period of prayer, but it's also a period for charity and being kind to your neighbor, right? And so Ramadan 2021 is coming in a year where we are still feeling the impact of COVID-19, where many folks are out of jobs. Students are yet to go back to school in many places. And so we have opportunities to help others. We also have opportunity to reflect more and review our ways of work, ways of living, ways of working, and come out with a renewed vigor and determination to do good as we would like others to do unto us. And I think if everybody does good as we like others to do unto you, then the world will be a better place and we'll have the Nigeria of our dream.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a highly interactive session.
Thanks, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Islamic finance through products like Sukuk have shown immense opportunities and prospects for driving Nigeria's economic transformation that can address issues like poverty, unemployment, and underdevelopment. With the support of groups like NASFAT, Islamic finance can be deployed as a tool for improving financial inclusion for densely populated Muslim areas in Nigeria. This will require intentional enlightenment programs that will sensitize people on the value and opportunities in Islamic finance. And that will be all for today. Connect with us on www.proshareentry.com for more videos and news on Islamic finance. Follow us on our social media platform displaying on the screen. Till we come your way again next week. Have a nice day.